All right, Miles Mason here again. Follow up on documenting the plan for a client. And I've been writing on one of these recently. All right, so why would we do that? Well, divorce is emotional, duh. I mean, everybody knows that, but how do you figure a way to cut through? Now, anybody with a soul feels bad during divorce. And that emotional stress feels like you're in the eye of a storm, and your brain just doesn't retain information that I may tell you in a phone conference a week ago or 2 weeks ago, much less 3 weeks ago. So it doesn't matter how smart you are, how analytical you are, you're gonna forget the plan. It's normal, it's foreseeable. So there's two aspects of the plan. What are we trying to accomplish in general? And then what's the process? Now, we're not going to spend too much time, we're not going to really document what our overall specific strategy is, other than, let's say, with a parenting plan. Come up with a parenting plan modification that's perfect for my client, all right? Not that complicated. Well, how do we do that? Well, we go through the parenting plan line by line. We give you advice. We listen to what you have to say. And we tailor our advice to your priorities, values, and what you feel is best for your child. Not that complicated. But what makes it challenging is the sheer volume of options a parent has. And what's going to work in a mediation format? What will never work in a mediation format? What can you enforce, like smoking? If your child doesn't have asthma, will you even know if you don't smell it on them? Because the first thing the other parent's going to do is say, "Don't tell them I'm smoking." All right. So generally, I don't document in those letters a negotiation strategy for obvious reasons. Well, not always obvious reasons. I don't want it on paper, okay? Because paper, what if we missend it and include opposing counsel in a reply all accidentally? All right, things happen. So I really preach don't put anything on paper that you don't want opposing counsel or the judge to read, okay? But negotiation strategy is really secondary to a lawyer knowing what his client or her client wants in detail and getting that on paper, because if it's on paper, we can edit those words. And so the second part of the plan letter is just explaining the process. What's up next? Some people want to know steps and bridges we got to cross 4, 5, 6, and 7. Other clients just want to know, what do I do today? And so for those clients that really need to see the big picture, what's the process, what's going to happen in each stage, and how the pieces fit together, we do a discussion on the process tailored to that client's situation, okay? Now, quick tip. I do have a complete divorce described for parents going through a divorce, chapter 2 of my book, Tennessee Divorce Client's Handbook. And for parents that come in, I've already written it, okay? In general, what are those steps, and what often fathers consider important and what mothers consider important? All right, hopefully you found that interesting.